Is there really any question now that modern Christianity has been subverted by feminism? Like it is to some degree the same thing. Is there really any question about this? Yeah, I walked away from the modern church not too long ago, and I don't see myself going back anytime soon. I've pretty much just accepted that as part of my life. It's just now it's gonna be work forever, work, and then whoever's on this online community. That's it. I did get kicked out of one, but is there really any question now? Because this is like my only point of contention with Christianity at this moment. It seems to work very well for men who are already like masculine, right? They have this physicality that's already built into them, and all they're doing is they're just looking for the right stuff, and it like course corrects them, and it helps them to coerce that savagery into something civilized. It seems to have that a good effect on that. But the majority of us guys are not these savage creatures. You know what I mean? Like we're not these dudes that are I mean, I got to work extra hard to make sure my masculinity is there, right? Like my physique, I have to work extra hard. I don't just have these genes, bro, but some people do, some guys do. You see it all the time, right? You look at this guy. He's like, I'm not saying he doesn't work out, but for the most part, he's got the frame, the body, and the height for. It's just is what it is. But the problem is that most of us guys aren't that, and Christianity has this emasculating effect for a lot of us. It effeminates you. And what's funny is that because it really is like to me the religion of peace. It's kind of hilarious because when I consider like female nature, and that's a big part of what this channel is going to be about. When I consider what it is, I truly believe like wholeheartedly right now. I truly believe women are not religious. They it's almost like they can't be. They can't be. They are just incredibly pragmatic. And it just so happens to be the case that they have been born into a culture that is basically it just handed to them the most effeminate, pro effeminating, pro emasculating, um, peaceful religion of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole turn the other cheek ethos. It seems to have that like that vibe to it. Whereas okay, so I digress, but whereas it civilizes the savagery and men who already have that temperament, who already have that like kind of like raw form of the masculine archetype that women absolutely crave. They absolutely crave it. But it has a bad effect for basically the rest of us. The rest of us that have to turn to essentially, you know, this basically red pilled content, right? To re-assimilate our masculinity. So I don't see that changing for the most part. So I'm pretty much good with never going to a church again. I might pop in every now and then, just say hi, because community is needed. And I do believe that a man is not made to be alone, right? That's biblical, I think. But it's sure as hell he must be capable of it. That's what it seems like to me. He sure as hell have to be capable of it. But is there really any question now? Like I feel like that's pretty much done for, right? Like, are we all on the same page? Like frankly speaking, they talk about the Jezebel spirit from time to time, but then like that's pretty much it. Like as a dude, you know, you better get right. You better go to church and get a Christian girl and get ready to serve her, die for her, be everything for her, and all this jazz. Like you presented the most docile, religion ever, right? Perhaps before it stood its ground, before when it was right when it was the new religion on the block. It before it was just like yeah, it was just hanging out, man, just brawling, just straight flexing all the time. And now it's just because it's just it just is what it is. There's no need to flex. It's basically the religion of the culture, even though you might have a problem with what all this bought out culture has to showcase. Obviously, that's not real life, right? It just sucks that they so happen to shove that down our throats. These Hollywood elites and artists, but you just from day to day, like these actually Christian types, man. It doesn't help emasculate them. It doesn't help emasculate them at all. And then they just get absolutely annihilated because women are that of course they're not gonna have a problem with Christianity the way it's presented now. It is essentially like a it is essentially modern churches, present modern day churches, they manufacture husbands. They're guys go there and they're husband ready. They might not be attraction ready. They might not be, yeah, what do you call it? They probably don't got the dog in them the way that girls want, but they're pumping the husbands out. They're not exactly pumping virgin, virtuous, ready to serve woman out. That's not happening. And again, I've played into this culture, this hookup culture. I'm also partly part of the problem. I do understand that, but to me, there's no getting around this. Like I cannot for the life of me be okay with feeling emasculated by I still truly at the end of the day I consider myself like a believer. I'm a little more agnostic when it comes, like, not agnostic, gnostic, right? Because I mean, I've had a psychedelic experience, I've had a hippie thing, right? So I still believe in God, and still monotheism, but I do realize that like he has all these variety of parts to him, right? So I've studied Buddhism, Hinduism. Obviously, I looked at Kierkegaard. Christianity, I like Nietzsche. You already know about Greek lore, all this jazz. I know how to like finesse all of the above. But to me, I'm reading works of love right now, right? And he's going to ham on the idea of love, and especially Christian brotherly love. And it's just like I get it, but is there really any? Is there? Can we actually not? It's so kind. It's become so watered down. It's become so generous to the point where like it doesn't challenge anyone, especially women, especially them. They're just they just walk up in there like it's all good. Like I mean that's fine, right? You want to welcome everything, but my thing is this. I've been ranting online for just a year, and I've said some pretty heinous things. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, but my thing is this. Like I've experienced backlash and critique from modern churches from me talking online, but there are straight up dudes who walk in with concealed carry guns into churches, but like open carry guns. But me and what women say about me, this is more of a dangerous thing. This is why I think feminism has gone too far. I mean, I'm just one guy, but I think all those other ideas still kind of hold ground. So you know, kudos. I'm gonna go ahead and read Kierkegaard's Attack upon Christendom because I find this to be very, very relatable, especially now. You know. All right, that's all for today. Deuces.